You are not your hunger. You are the one who decides how to feed it. You are not your urges. You are the one. You are the awareness that chooses how to consciously use the energy. You are the one who chooses how to transmute it, how to utilize it. If you are one of the few men on the planet at this time that is choosing to walk this path, and man, this is a hard fucking path, man. It's a hard path. Then you'll start to realize that this path is more than you bargained for. This energy is intense sometimes, more intense than you ever imagined. It can be violent. It can be aggressive. It is like holding a fireball, an electric fireball in your freaking hands, and just you're sitting with it. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this, dude? It's insane. And that's why, you go back to these old addictions sometimes. Maybe it's not just that you're addicted. Maybe it's not just the energy is just too much sometimes. That is a possibility. But a lot of the time, you go back to these old ways of being. Not just, lust and licentious material on the internet, but sometimes you go back to junk food. You may go back to cannabis. You may go back to alcohol. Whatever your personal addiction was that you really struggled with. You go back to these things not for the pleasure. Because pleasure, consciously chosen, actually can be a celebration of life. Consciously chosen, it can be, man, I'm so present right now. I'm so in love with existence, with life. And I'm so in the now moment. And I would like to add a beer to this moment to enhance it. I would like to add a hit off a joint to enhance this moment. I would love to add an intimate moment with my woman to enhance this moment. If consciously chosen like that, it can be a celebration of life, a celebration of existence. But most people, and you probably, and me a lot of the time, because we're human beings, we don't use pleasure as a tool to celebrate the now moment. We use it as an escape from our pain. We use it to numb the ache inside that we feel, the ache, the emptiness. But at a certain point, scrolling on Instagram doesn't hit the same anymore. The party doesn't have the same charm. The sketchy videos on the internet, on these adult websites, they don't do it no more, bro. And no matter how far and how fast you think you're running, this pain at some point catches up with you and you're just face to face with it. And it is painful. And at some point you will have to face this pain. And the only reason it is painful is because you think that is what you are. But you need to realize, you need to come to the understanding, the understanding, as it were, that you are not this pain. You are not this energy. You are not your cravings. You are not any of this. You are the deep, infinite awareness beyond all these things. And once you truly understand that, pain has nothing on your discipline anymore. Distractions have nothing on your discipline anymore. Because you can consciously go into the pain, not seeing it as a negative thing, but seeing it as a challenge to help you grow. Because if you want to blossom into your full potential, you are like a tree that is growing. Not only must your branches and leaves blossom towards the heavens, but your roots must also descend into the pits of hell. And your pit of hell is your metaphorical pit of hell, is that pain that you constantly run from all the freaking time. And I say this as a human being that deals with a lot of pain in my mind. And a lot of the time, if I'm not conscious, I run towards these distractions. I run to nicotine. I run to alcohol. I run to numbing myself with licentious adult material on the internet, with hookups, with Even just hanging out with friends can be, a way to distract yourself from the pain, from the emptiness, from the hole you feel inside. But once you learn to be present with these challenging emotions, with these challenging energies, you can just sit in an empty room in the silence. You can just sit in the empty room in the silence and not feel empty. Not because you realize that you have everything, but because you understand deeply that you are everything. You are connected with it all. You are part of everything. Truly understanding what the word universe means. Let's break that down. Universe. Una is the Latin prefix for one. Uno, one. And verse is song. One song. Every single experience, every single emotion, you being a part of everything else, all coming together as one to create one present moment, to create one experience. You are as much a part of the game of this life as the tree outside, as the chair in your kitchen, as the person you take a moment to just look in their eyes for a moment and see the beauty of God's creation and see the handiwork of the universe. But you cannot realize this. You cannot find deep peace if you numb your pain with distraction. If you numb your pain with distraction, you won't find it. Peace is found diving into the pain. It's somewhere down there. It's hard to find sometimes, dude. I'm not here to shame your decisions because I make a lot of these decisions that looking back, I'm like, why did I freaking do that, dude? The energy can just get so freaking intense and you're so pent up and there's so many emotions that it's all coming to the surface, man. And what else are you going to do except cope with these distractions? Sometimes it just gets too much. Sometimes you just have to binge eat some junk food and rub one out or whatever you freaking do to cope with your pain. But I am constantly reminded time and time again that the times that I'm so proud of myself and I find deep, true satisfaction and peace is when I say, no, I am not this emotion. I am not this craving. Yes, I'm feeling it. Yes, I'm experiencing it. It is about experience. It's not about suppression of your emotion or suppression of your desires and cravings or suppression of your urges. It's, I'm here now in this moment. I'm the awareness and I'm present. This is a very interesting energy. How will I choose to act upon this emotion? How will I choose to indulge this craving or this urge? Or will I even choose to indulge it at all? And that will automatically, by being more mindful, lead you to making much better decisions in your life. When you're hungry, instead of reaching for the box of cookies and eating the whole freaking box, you'll say, my body actually maybe needs some nutrition. And you'll maybe eat half a watermelon and a few organic apples and truly feed your body and give it what it needs, not what your freaking mind is saying, oh, I want this because like it'll feel nice and it'll distract me from the gnawing pain I feel when there's no distractions left. You would truly give your body and your mind and your soul and your spirit what it needs. And I think as men, the biggest distraction we use, because the biggest dopamine we can hit when we're sober, we can get is, you know what it is. It's those videos, bro. Something so simple as pixels can turn into the biggest freaking roadblock in your freaking life. Isn't that insane, dude? You wasted 5, 10, 15 years wasting your energy and frying your freaking brain to 5 minutes of videos, and it screwed up your entire life. Let that sink in. That's what you're giving up your potential for? That's what you are giving up your potential for. It's insanity Take a moment to zoom out, to do the cost benefit analysis. Go for 10 days or go for 3 weeks without these types of distractions. And you're like, whoa, reality is fun. I feel like a kid again. I'm just excited to do things. I want to go to the gym. I want to eat the good food. I want to hang out with positive people and build my relationships and build a business and do a good job at my employer's place of work. I want to make videos. I want to just go freaking do things. And life is sweet once again. But there will always be pain in life. You're always going to experience challenges. That is the nature of reality. But you can have the pain up front and then experience the peace on the other side, or the pain will come knocking and you're gonna run from it and you're gonna distract yourself. But at some point, the check for the meal is gonna come and you're gonna pay the price. And it will be 10 times what it was if you had simply just said, oh, pain? Yes, what do you need? What needs addressing in my life right now? I'm tired. Ooh, let me medicate it with caffeine. No. What does my body need? Maybe it needs a nap. Maybe it needs some deep, nutritious food. Maybe I need a freaking parasite cleanse because I have worms in my freaking belly that are like sucking all my nutrients out of my body, so I'm always fatigued. Go into your pain, because your pain is not a bad thing. Is it a messenger? It is saying, hey, dude, please address this area of your life while it is still small, while this problem is still small. Please take a look at this, dude. And if you just simply said, okay, cool, I'll take a look at it, and you go into it with consciousness, into the pain with consciousness, and you take a look at it, you will find that the universe, God, your soul, and your intuition, however you'd like to label it, shows you what you need in that moment. It will never leave you hanging, and God and the universe will never present you with a challenge that you are not capable of having. And that is my opinion. And you can take that or leave that, but I'm willing to fight to the death on that opinion. The universe, your experience of reality will never present you with a challenge that you are not capable of overcoming. Ever. Because look, you've made it this far. 20 years on this planet, 30 years on this planet, and you're still here. That is all the proof you need. And even the things that scarred you, once they healed and once you chose to accept that pain and go through the trauma and learn from that, and not distract yourself from that empty hole, that void that pain left you with, it actually led you to becoming the person who you are right now. And would you ever want to undo that? Be honest about that. You are not your hunger. You are the awareness who chooses how you will indulge and how you will feed it. You are not your urges. You are the one. You are the awareness who will choose how to use the energy. So be conscious and use it wisely. That's it. That's the video. Jump in the Telegram and I will see you soon.